So 2 words more than any have been used to describe myself and animal rights activists in particular in the last few months, and that is hero and criminal. As someone pointed out, today is July 1st. That means last week was the summer solstice, and that means something very specific to animal rights activists. That means last week was the Yulin Dog and Cat Meat Festival. And that means today, up to 10,000 dogs and cats were beaten in the last week to death and sold. Their bodies were sold as flesh in soup and a side of rice. And standing here, where is he? He's under the table. Okay, we're going to take a peek so people can see. They've had a long day, and they don't come to everything, but here's Pau.
Hey, Paul.
And 2 years ago, Pau was in a dog meat farm in yulin, and he was going to be killed for this festival. So this is a hard week for vegans and for myself. I was fortunate to rescue Pau. I walked into the farm where he was kept. When I first saw him, he was missing fur on half of his body. Come here, baby. Oh. We found out later that he had worms in his intestines. He had scars all over his body, especially here. He was completely scarred right here. He had no fur growing there from fleas and ticks. And he was in a free-range farm. He had room to walk around. It was much better conditions than I've seen in the pig farms in the United States. And he's probably actually healthier than the pigs that I've seen in the United States. He certainly wasn't fed any antibiotics. But the worst scars were not from the fleas and the ticks. The worst scars were in his mind. When I walked into the concrete pit he was kept in, about this size here, this was his whole world, he ran to the farthest corner away from me. And as I started to slowly get close to him, I saw his muscles tense up, and he backed further against the wall to get just 1 more centimeter away from me because he was so terrified of humans. And that is exactly the way that the pigs act when I go into farms, the way the turkeys and the cows act when they first see me. You can see they're terrified because the reaction has always been violence from humans. And then as I sit there longer and they start to warm up, they realize that I'm not going to hurt them. I was able to rescue Pau. We also investigated the slaughterhouse. We put undercover cameras inside the dog meat slaughterhouse in yulin. And on the 4th day of doing that, we were caught. I was arrested. Our freedom was threatened. Ultimately, the Chinese government decided to support us. And I think that largely to my privilege as a white American woman with an Ivy League education that I was only fortunate to get because I was born into a middle-class family. And because of all of that, I was brought home with Pau. And not just my vegan friends, but my friends who eat meat called me a hero. My family, who doesn't completely support the work I did, called me a hero. And then 2 months ago, I was standing in a slaughterhouse chute, in a different slaughterhouse in this country, with a chain around my waist, and I chained myself between a cow and a slaughterhouse, the same way I got in the way of violence in yulin when I stood between the dog meat traders and Pau when I took him out. But again, I was arrested by police. In this case, I was actually dragged away. And this time, my friends, my coworkers, and people all around the country called me a criminal. Because instead of standing between a slaughterhouse and a dog, I was standing between a slaughterhouse and a cow. And that brought me from hero to criminal. I am currently facing 3 misdemeanor outstanding charges for slaughterhouse incidents. My mentor, and the man who is the reason that Pau is alive today, the man who's the reason that Pau is sitting next to me, is facing 8 felony charges in 3 different states across this country for rescuing 3 pigs and 3 turkeys and 2 pigs and a few more animals. So what are we going to do in the face of this? And the answer is what we're doing right now. It's telling stories. Because if I get arrested in China, and I get deported, and I have a slaughterhouse footage, it doesn't mean anything if our movement doesn't tell those stories. And we don't need everyone to do this. I don't need everyone to walk into a turkey farm with me. We have the stories. You can pull up, Pal has an Instagram now, thank you LA people. You can pull up Pal, the yulin dog, and you can tell people Pal's story. You can do what I just did and say, what's the difference? But clearly, you love dogs. Dogs and cows both have the same level of sentience. They both feel fear and pain and love and joy. So why? Why is it okay to kill one and not the other? And to tell those in an eloquent way, which is why we're here today, why we're practicing, why we're watching each other, why we're giving feedback, and having this community, having these ties that continue to inspire us, that is how we get to this world. And I do want to mention one other thing. So the jacket that I'm wearing today was just brought back to me today. And I said, oh, thanks, Sarah. I mean, it wasn't that dirty. It was pretty clean. And she's like, no, Julianne, it was the smell of your jacket. And that's because a couple weeks ago, this jacket was on Sunrise Farms in Petaluma, California, at a factory farm, where 300 activists stood outside and 40 of us went inside, and we pulled out 37 individual lives, and we walked out in broad daylight with them in our arms, with police cars everywhere, and no one dared take those girls from us because we had 300 people there holding flowers saying we're going to get in the way of the violence. The police are there. Behind them is animal agriculture, who is paying for them to enforce this on us. The police are just their pawns, and in between them and the chickens is the activists. The non-violent activists who are standing holding flowers, who know that if the police come, they will have to throw us to the ground, like they threw myself to the ground, like they threw a mech to the ground 3 weeks ago. And that is going to make the difference so stark and so clear of who is the hero and who is the criminal. And so if I can leave you with any ask, it's to keep doing what you're doing, to keep getting better at it, to keep inspiring everyone else to do it, to stay an activist and speak so loud that the whole world has to hear their cries. And the real heroes, of course, are the animals.
Thank you, Julianne. That was beautiful. Does anyone have any questions for Julianne? We have maybe 5 minutes, and then we'll have to transition to the wrap-up of the meeting.
How are we on time?
We have about 15 minutes, but we have to wrap up the meeting, so probably 5 minutes for Q&A.
Okay. 2 or 3 questions.
So I have a dog rescue from the laboratory, and it was quite a process to see him start trusting humans. What was the experience with getting Hal to trust humans, and how do you bring a stranger into your house?
Yeah, it was really hard. When we were first there, we brought him back to the apartment that we rented, and there were 2 beds, and it was a pretty small apartment, probably not like the hotel rooms here, and the 3 boys that we rescued were in the far corner, and they wouldn't come out. Like, we would try to give them food, we had to bring them food right to their corner. I tried to pick them up and put them on the bed, and they would jump right down. What finally worked for them was sleeping next to them. So like on the 3rd night, I just slept on the ground. And I think it leads to, you have to get in the mindset of the animal. You have to be able to read their body language. I can tell when Cal is nervous versus terrified, and what makes them comfortable. And like if you see people who know dogs well, they get down on their level. And this is really important for all vegans to know, like to be able to read the body language of someone who can't speak English or whatever language you happen to speak, to be able to read their body language and see when you can approach and when you can't. And so it's, yeah, try to read their face, And so I slept with them, like, I think the pack sleeps with them, so I thought, oh, she's part of our pack. And feeding, obviously, when you're the person that's feeding them or exercising them, it's super important to them, that strengthens the bond.
My main question in activism is how to have the recipient not be felt that you're making them wrong.
Great, and I've had incredible conversations. I've actually been really grateful DXC isn't here this year because I usually surround myself with DXC people. And I've been forced to talk to everyone else in the movement and see how we're perceived. And we are perceived as like yelling at someone, as like throwing a message at them, right? Instead of like listening. And I actually really love the cubes, and we've been talking a lot about maybe we should focus on cubes instead because that's more general. But Anonymous for the Voiceless.
Yeah.
Oh,
They hold slaughterhouse videos and
Okay.
Tell me what your question was one more time exactly.
How to have people not feel like you're making them wrong?
Enough.
We are making them wrong. In my heart, I'm making them
Yeah.
wrong, but I have to.
When it comes to activism, particularly.
Yeah, just
So we're not.
feminism and stuff.
I would say read Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King's letter from a Birmingham jail, where he addresses this criticism that you're driving people away because you're making it controversial and you're yelling. And what it's meant to do is to force a society to confront an issue that it's trying to ignore. And that's where we're at with animal rights, is nobody wants to talk about it. When you start to talk to somebody about it, they say, I don't want to talk about it. Like, I don't want to know that shit. But if it's in the news, if CNN is reporting, like, 1,000 people are lying on the street pretending to be dead animals, people have to think there's something to this. And that's what direct action is meant to do. That's what these large actions are meant to do, is to give the media coverage and to get people being like, there's a lot of people that think this way. Maybe I should talk to my vegan friend from MFA who's been trying to get me to talk to them. Like, so that's the role that DXC plays, is stirring up the talk. And if you read Letter from a Birmingham jail, he says it so much more eloquently than I can. But it's to, you want confrontation, you want conflict if the issue is being ignored. If everyone refuses to talk about it, this is how you get that topic on the table and talked about. You all grew up in the time of like the LGBTQ like movement. I grew up in Idaho. Like a lot of people I know voted for Trump. I'll say that. Like people were closeted when I was growing up. People would tell me that they were gay and ask me to keep it a secret, and it was their secret for me. And what finally made that a topic of conversation at every single dinner table, like I didn't go a single week without talking about LGBTQ rights, even though there was no one in my circle, is because it was on the news all the time, because all of these activists were taking these extreme actions. And so that's the right time. And then they talked to all their friends and their family. Then the coming out movement made sense, because everybody has someone to connect to and talk to. So it's this dance of the movement, and that we're not trying to convert the people in that grocery store. We are actually trying to get confrontation where they yell back at us, or like they drag us off from Petaluma Farms to see like, wow, these people really are being treated very violently. There's something wrong here.
This will be the last question.
Yes, yeah.
It's kind of more of a comment. This is my 5th time coming, and every time I learn something new, but I notice that it's a much more gentler animal rights conference. There isn't the spectrum that there has been in years past. And
DMC has a lot of people in it.
Yeah, but I really love the breakouts where people would get in a circle and be able to really hash this stuff out. I thought that was so amazing to be able to come here and hear this side of it. And I had never heard of DXC before, the Animal Rights Conference, and I honestly appreciate that so much, because that's on me. I'm on this side of it. But I really feel that I need that to kind of bring me to the center and help me be more of an activist, so that I can pull out that part of me to be the best I can to, keep things moving in the right direction.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, same thing. When you're involved in your own strategy, in your own organization, or your own belief system or theory of change, we've learned this. It becomes a feedback loop, it becomes an echo chamber, and that's definitely true of all of our organizations. And that's
like one of the many reasons why this conference is so wonderful is that we all get to strategize together and talk together and get outside of that bubble and have other perspectives and other knowledge. And MFA brings so much knowledge in what's like the scientific method way that a lot of us aren't doing. That's so valuable. And being able to feed off of all of that, we need to have stronger ties in the movement.
There you go.